Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown. Coming up on today's show, we're going to look at this idea of maybe trying to hire the Packers offensive coordinator Nathaniel Hackett to land Aaron Rodgers as the Broncos are set to interview Hackett. Also, the latest trade rumors on Carson Wentz and Russell Wilson. I'm Matthew Peterson. Welcome into the Broncos Breakdown. But before we get to the real meat of today's show, guys, do you want the Broncos to trade for a quarterback? I mean, do you want them to go out, invest the capital, they've got a bunch of draft picks, and land a blockbuster quarterback like Rodgers or Wilson? Then go ahead and like today's video, because nothing else matters if you don't have the quarterback position down, and I think we all learned that lesson this year. But let's get to the first segment of today's show. I wonder, if you hire Nathaniel Hackett, could you lure Aaron Rodgers with that? I've talked about this before, and I think it's a pretty bold approach to hire a guy because of his friend. That seems like something you do in middle school PE class. They're not a combo, okay? You can't just get Jimmy Martinelli because he's really good at basketball and I got to come with him, all right? But here's what I wonder, all right? And Aaron Rodgers, he has kind of spoken about this. Let's actually throw the quote on the screen. He went on the Pat McAfee show and he said this about hiring potentially Nathaniel Hackett. This is a little overdue, to be honest. He's been around the game a long time. What he did in Jacksonville, I think, was pure magic. Getting them within a quarter of the Super Bowl, he's a great coach. I love spending time with him. He's a fantastic teacher. He's incredible in front of the room. Picture this. Picture this. The Packers losing the NFC Championship game. Surprise. Third straight year in a row. The Broncos, they hired Nathaniel Hackett. Rodgers, pissed off. His toes still hurts. And you know what he wants to do? He wants to go relax. He wants to go have an IPA, maybe do some other stuff you can do in Colorado that you can't do in Wisconsin legally. And he wants to go hang out with his buddy Nate in Mile High. Is that outlandish? I don't think it's that far-fetched. I don't think you're asking that much. You're just asking for the Packers to lose the NFC Championship game. Is the Pope Catholic? Like, they do that all the time. And then for him to just want to be like, a change of scenery, my offensive coordinator who knows everything that I like. We work well together. He knows what I want to do. I don't have to go and train a new head coach the way I did with Mike McCarthy and end up getting him fired. No, you can go hang out with his buddy Nate. Him and Nate. Aaron and Nate. A-N, okay? Hanging out in Mile High. I can get behind that. But let me ask this. Should the Broncos hire Nathaniel Hackett? All right, give me a Y for yes or an N for no. I went on my little soapbox rant there. I don't think he's still the leader in the clubhouse. I don't know if he gets hired. I don't think he gets hired. That's my bold stance right there. But let me know what you think down in the comments section below. This is the pinned comment. So if a YouTube ad break comes on by, give me your response. Moving on, though. So trade targets for the Broncos. So Aaron Rodgers, number one right there. Number two, we're going to talk about on today's show. Carson Wentz, the Colts quarterback, who was just magnificent in Week 18. Needed a win to get his team to the playoffs, and wow, did he deliver spectacular Twitter humor. The Colts, of course, had the epic collapse, and from the get-go, really. But the Colts GM, who I think is one of the brightest minds in football, and he's pretty active out there, he said this after the game. At the time, he's talking about trading for Wentz, we felt it was the right decision. I'm not going to make a comment on who is going to be here next year and who is not. What a vote of confidence right there. Most coaches go, so-and-so's our quarterback. That's it, right? They don't add on anymore. Ballard came out and he's like, I don't think any, I could see Frank Reich. I could see maybe even Carson Wentz not being here next year because of the way they played in Week 18 and Week 17 down the stretch. Now, Carson Wentz, we love to make fun of him. I myself included. But if you look at his numbers this year and you did a blind quarterback test, I bet 0 out of 10 people guess that's Carson Wentz. As much shit as we give him, just 7 interceptions. Now, every single one of those 7 interceptions was awful, and they usually come at awful times too. But Wentz statistically not that bad this year, honestly. I know his name comes with a lot of baggage, and it didn't work well at the end in Philly, and it cost the Colts a playoff run or a playoff opportunity, but I'm a little milk-warm on it, okay? But let me know. Would you want the Broncos to trade for Carson Wentz? Give me a T for trade or a P for pass down below. I'm going to give you my answer in just a second, but let me know what you guys are thinking in the comment section because the Broncos need a quarterback, and if they can't go and swing Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, would Wentz be a poor third option? For me, it's Plan E. Plan A is Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers. Plan B is Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson. Plan C, cry a little bit because you didn't get Plan A or Plan B. Plan D is draft a quarterback. And Plan E is Carson Wentz. Okay, that's how far down the totem pole he is for me. I don't really know how much of an upgrade he is. And this was kind of the talk in Mile High last year, right? Is Carson Wentz that much better than Drew Lock that he's worth the picks you'd give up, right? The Colts gave up a first-round pick for him. I don't think the Broncos want to give up a first-round pick. And so maybe if the Colts really sell low and they go, yeah, you can take him for a third, then fine by me. But I don't think this is going to end up happening. I think a lot of other stuff would have to go against the Broncos. And then the Broncos go, well, we ran through our top 4 options. We cannot run it back. We don't feel confident in Drew Lock. We want to go a different direction. Carson, welcome to the Mountain West. But before we get to our third and final segment, which is about Russell Wilson, a lot more attractive a name, guys, if you want free Broncos content all offseason, I'm talking free here, then subscribe to the channel. Literally, the price you pay is just hitting a big red button, and then boom, you are locked in for free content all year long, talking about the trade rumors, talking about the draft. I love mock drafts. We'll have those coming to you, draft targets, all that good stuff. So join the channel if you have not already, and if you have, appreciate all of you guys that have. At the end of the show, I'll go through and read some of the me's that you guys commented on the last show and give some shout-outs, so stay tuned for that for all of our loyal subscribers. Third and final quarterback we will talk about on today's show, Russell Wilson. Got a bit of an update on his trade speculation and how much of a real chance it is to come to fruition. But before we talk about RW, we've got an awesome deal going on at Fanatics. Look at this great t-shirt combo. And I mean great. Literally 2 shirts for price of one's like $37, 25% off. Got to get it now, though, because you know Fanatics, these deals come and go. But go to chatsports.com/Broncos t-shirt. How do you forget that link? It's right there. But if you do, I'll put it in the comments and the description of this video. Get a short sleeve and get a long sleeve tee. They look pretty dope to me. Hook yourself up 25% off. Do it now before the deal runs out. Now, let's talk about some Russell Wilson trade rumors. So, this has been long going since last year, and it's tough to gauge because on one end, why would the Seahawks want to trade Russell Wilson? Well, the answer is they wouldn't want to trade Russell Wilson. But Russell Wilson says, I don't want to leave. So then you're like, why are we having this conversation? Well, because I think Russell Wilson tells his agent to tell his friend, to tell a reporter, Russ may want out of Seattle. And then Russ goes, I never said that. But if you want to trade me, I wouldn't be opposed as long as I get to pick, and it's a big city that my wife would like. So here's what Russell Wilson said on Trade Rumors about a couple weeks ago, before the Week 17 game. I know for me personally, I hope it's not my last game in Seattle. But at the same time, I know it won't be my last game in the NFL. Now, fast forward a couple weeks. He goes this. My goal is to win more Super Bowls, and my plan is to win them here. Dude, do you not know? Has someone told you, you put a no-trade clause in your contract, which means you get to decide if you get traded. I don't understand why he's out here talking about, I hope I don't get traded, but we'll see. It's the NFL. It's a business. Yeah, you get to decide. This is what pisses me off about Russell Wilson. Between the ghost huddles, training 18 hours a day to get yourself back on the field, and then talking about this things up in the air of, we'll see what happens. Russ, you have you got dealt pocket aces. You have all the control in this situation to see if you want to get traded. It just blows my mind that he comes out here and he talks about this like he doesn't have complete power in his future. But with that being said, if my monologue doesn't persuade you, maybe you feel otherwise, or maybe you're Russell Wilson watching this. But how likely is it that Russ gets traded? Scale for me 1 to 10, 1 being, hey, I'm Russell Wilson, and I know I'm not getting traded, or give me a 10 of, I'll help him pack because he is leaving tomorrow. Personally, I'd be at about a 4. I don't think there's enough smoke in the air to be more than 1, 2, or 3, but I think it's more unlikely than likely at the time, just based on what Russ is saying. If Russ really wanted out, then he probably wouldn't have had this said, he would not have said those quotes, but he did say them. So I'm just shy of the 50-yard line on camp. Yeah, most likely gonna stay, but I would love to see him in Denver. Now, we went through 3 quarterbacks on today's show, so pick one you'd like to see the Broncos trade for. I've got them in order from left to right, from least expensive to most expensive. Now, you could probably swap Wilson or Rodgers, and you wouldn't have to twist my arm very hard, but Wentz is by far the cheapest of the three. So let me know which one you'd want the Broncos to trade for in the comment section below. Also, in your comment section, it's a good way to get a shout-out on today's show, because that's what we're going to do for a bunch of loyal subscribers now. Make sure you're subscribed, because if you want to be like Julian, Fletcher, Stark, is that like a Game of Thrones, Stark House, John Fleming, or we got some more names here, Wes Robinson, Brett Wade, Jesse, Ronald, Hermaine, and one of the most loyal subscribers out there, one name coming across right now, Rod Bass. Appreciate you, Rod. I know you always one of the first ones to comment. Warhorse, Rick Parker, Sam, BBM. Is that like a company? I don't know. Justin, we don't know his last name, just H. Bill Buse, your dog is adorable. Sean Walker, Taylor Holland, Mile High Kid, Brock, and then wrapping up the show here, these last 5 ones, Logan Davis, Charles, Santonio, Donovan, and then Lord Lego Man the first. If I missed you, I am very sorry. Try to scrub through all the me's. I'm very sorry if I missed you, but appreciate all of you guys who watched today's show, and appreciate all of you guys who have subscribed already. And if you haven't, come join the channel. We'll put news and rumors content out all year long.